Have you noticed Britney Spears' arm in the last video she posted before deleting her account? 3 details suggest she might be under threat from Kevin Federline.
I died. I didn't die, people. I didn't die. I'm here. I'm alive. Yeah, I'm very much alive and well. And I've got my fur here. See, I'm feeling myself. Yeah, feeling myself.
The person on Instagram is not Britney Spears, and they are about to kill her off. Okay, they're saying that she's got brain damage and that they're going to make it look like she either overdosed or died from a brain disease. That is not the case. She was never released from the conservatorship. All right, and I'm going to prove several ways that the person up there is not her and that the person that is portraying her is being trafficked and is losing their mind because they no longer want to pretend to be her.
This has been a long time coming, but it's time to speak on the Free Britney movement. And thanks to her ex-husband Kevin Federline's book release, You Thought You Knew, it's become increasingly obvious they were conning us, and people are still falling for it. So this goes back to 2019 when Britney was again admitted to rehab treatment, and her fans reacted by speaking about her conservatorship.
After it went public that Britney was in treatment, the hosts of the Britney's Gram podcast claimed they received, quote, an anonymous tip from a credible source that the toxic singer is being held against her will in the health facility. And thus, the Free Britney hashtag was born. Fans who believe the podcast's claims protested in front of West Hollywood City Hall on Monday night to support Britney.
And then during 2020, when we were going through a pandemic, when most people were unable to go out or socialize or go to work, more people than ever turned to social media for entertainment and for connection to the outside world. Interest in Britney Spears and her conservatorship started to escalate, and they blamed her family and her business manager for controlling her life and her social media.
Since 2008, she hasn't been able to control her own finances unless it's approved by her father.
And the Free Britney hashtag started to go viral.
Hashtag Free Britney has been used more than 108,000 times on Instagram. So far, Britney herself has not responded.
So a lot of you have been asking me more questions in the comments, and I'm here to answer all of your questions.
And so that attracted a lot of opportunists and grifters into the movement, and it's happening all over again with the Kevin Federline book release. And it's always the same people doing commentary on these kind of events. Instead of reporting the facts, they like to pick on people's personal defects and usually resort to trolling and making things up. Meanwhile, they claim to be advocating for victims or survivors, and they'll say they're fighting for justice or searching for the truth. And it's people like Andy Signal who've jumped on this latest wave, and he invites Sam Lutfi on to hear his side of the story. The guy who had a restraining order against him and has stalked other celebrities. Piers Morgan, who's lucky to have not faced criminal charges for hacking people's phones, and not just celebrities' phones, victims whose children have been killed. He invited Vlad TV on, and even Jaguar Wright, who went on his platform to lie about P. Diddy and Jay-Z, which he had to delete and make a public apology about, has jumped on this bandwagon. Perez Hilton, who had to apologise for bullying Britney to her fans, they've all forgotten about that now. He's now gone on Andy Signal's channel Popcorn Planet to do a podcast, but no one from the movement is calling him out. Either they've got very short memories or they don't care. Then there were the much smaller channels that no one had heard of that built themselves up on the back of this movement, like BJ Investigates, who I've made quite a few videos on, and I've seen misinformed people in comments say she started Free Britney. She was actually pretty late to the party and she fell out with the organisers. Then there was Alexa Nicholas and her buddy Sloan. Alexa aligned herself with the Free Britney movement and went on TV interviews claiming she was bullied by Britney Spears' sister when they were kids on a show called Zoe 101. More recently, Alexa Nicholas has been called out by a whole bunch of people questioning her authenticity and for using her performative activism as an alleged survivor to create and monetize her Eat Predators brand, when she's been using the legal system as a weapon and aligning herself with actual predators like Drake Bell and Ethan Klein. Another channel that got millions of views and gained a whole load of subscribers for its Free Britney content is Deep Dive. And Jake Yonsei and Shelby from Deep Dive portrayed a narrative that it was TikTokers that were spreading conspiracy theories, not them. What they had was 13 years of conservatorship history on their side, and that was all backed up with evidence shown in legal documentation. Except when it came down to it and Britney sued her family, they had got it wrong. She lost her case and had to pay her father's legal fees. And that was when I got interested in it, because none of them had anything to say. So I started doing a bit of fact checking into some of the conclusions that they came to, and that was when I realised that in some instances they didn't really know what they were talking about, but their main point was they were mad at her family and her management and her business manager Lou Taylor for using Britney's name to make money and exploiting her. And yet, isn't that kind of what they were doing? They found a way to monetize all the interest in all the content they were creating out of conspiracy theories through ad revenue and merch and memberships and all the other stuff. Another claim was that the conservatorship had taken away her human rights by giving Kevin custody of her kids, and she didn't want to comply with the parental court procedures, like turning up for her visitations or when she had an appointment with the court. Another rule was she wasn't allowed to drive herself, but since the conservatorship ended, on more than one occasion she was caught on police cam footage being stopped by the police for dangerous driving. And that's the police cam footage that we saw, because not every traffic cop wears a police camera or has it turned on. But it's very clear that she does not drive safely, and she uses the same excuse that she doesn't have her license because she just came back from a trip and her security has it and blah blah blah. And every time the police officer lets her off, he even says, "I just stopped you 3 weeks ago. You haven't got your license yet?" And on that time she'd been stopped 2 weeks before.
Okay, do you know you can't pass on the double yellows?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, the reason for that is there's private driveways, so
I'm so sorry.
people are pulling in and out.
There's a bathroom, but it's about to come out right now. I'm so sorry.
Okay, do you have any like photo ID or anything with your name on it? I know who you are, but
Yes, they have it at my
okay.
Just last week, she was filmed driving all over the highway after leaving a restaurant where she did not look sober. She did not look like she was in control of the car. She could have literally killed someone.
Oh my God.
So these people followed her, and the video shows her swerving all over the road at night. Luckily no one was hurt, but what about the safety of the public? What about their human rights? I don't know, it seems like her not driving herself seems like a pretty good idea. And remember when she was driving with her kid on her lap? Maybe that's why they put this rule into the conservatorship, because she don't look like she cares about her own safety or anyone else's. But that wouldn't fit with the narrative of the Free Britney people that she's a victim. And they're mad at Kevin for admitting that she has a problem with substances. And her kids do not want to be around her because of the way she behaves, which we can all see on her Instagram and when she drives like a madwoman. A parent who puts their addiction before the needs of their kids is not a good parent, but they don't want to see it like that. And if Britney Spears was not a celebrity and she did not have a fan base, her behaviour would be seen in a very different way. If you go to her Instagram and watch any of her content that she puts out, it's pretty obvious that she is, what is the term? White girl wasted most of the time. And she is not a nice person to be around, but for some reason these people want to fight for justice for her as if they know more about her legal situation than her own lawyers. And to excuse her behaviour on Instagram, there's always been a conspiracy theory that it's not really her, or she's been forced against her will. And that brings us to this new content that's going viral on TikTok.
I love you guys. This is it. I'm about to die. They're gonna kidnap me and take me away forever. If anybody finds this tape, I just want to be remembered as a good person.
Okay guys, we're going to go over some things today with Britney Spears. Now, I have a couple of videos that I have posted about her, but it's extremely important that you guys pay attention to this, all right? I'm a forensic astrologer, and I'm also a death investigator as well.
Okay, if we start with there's no such thing as a death investigator unless she means she's a coroner, and then there's no such thing as a forensic astrologer, although she's about to do a reading. This is the TikTok landscape we're dealing with, where people think dolls are their real babies and feed them formula. And I want to think that no one takes this seriously, and I'm going to get to another channel on YouTube where I see in their comments people might actually believe this stuff.
I need to point out some things that I'm seeing in the media and why it's really urgent that people understand and listen that the person on Instagram is not Britney Spears, and they're about to kill her off. Okay, they're saying that she's got brain damage and that they're going to make it look like she either overdosed or died from a brain disease. This is so urgent. This isn't a conspiracy. If you are a fan of Britney Spears, you need to pay attention. This is the real Britney Spears, okay? This is a very elegant woman, okay, who takes care of her skin, who takes care of her makeup, who takes care of her hair, who has a beautiful skin tone. And look at the maturity in her. And this is years ago, okay? She is not a half-wit. She's not somebody who does not know how to speak and speaks like a baby on a video. She also would never dress the way that this person on Instagram dresses. She is a trained dancer. The person on Instagram does not know anything about choreography or any of Britney Spears' classic moves, and nor does the girl ever sing. And when she speaks, she's speaking in different dialects that are not Britney Spears. 7 years that we have not seen her in public. Now, you may think that you saw her in public when she did the conservatorship trial, but that was all done on the phone, and all that footage that we see of her was from years before. It wasn't actually of her in person. They put her right back in, and then they stuck the Instagram one back out there, but Britney Spears is still alive.
Right there. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, pass on the double yellows. You can't do that.
I'm so sorry.
Do you have your license?
Can someone ask her, is this the baby voice imposter allowed to drive on her own?
And if we don't acknowledge this, we're going to lose an icon who has been begging for help. And I have a video that she is crying for people to realize that it's not her. Okay, now I have teamed with other influencers to try to get this message out because I really think that they're about to kill her off. And the only reason that they have had wellness checks, so they're checking up on her anytime somebody makes a claim, but they're keeping the real one. And because who it is, it's BlackRock and it's Diddy. All of these people have their hand in her conservatorship, and that's also K-Fed and her family are making a ton of money from her. They're keeping her alive somewhere else so that they can do her DNA tests and her hair strand tests anytime someone thinks it's not the real Britney that is being trafficked on Instagram. So the Instagram one, I did a chart on her, and I will also show you in this video how I have proven that the person there is impersonating a celebrity and doesn't want to be and is being trafficked, okay? So you're telling me that Ambassador Britney Spears, elegant, refined, wants to spend her days in underwear, just parading around dancing nonstop in a sexual way in cheap clothing? And her everything is just off.
Okay, so a lot of people have been saying that a lot of my posts are not new, but they're old. But just to let you guys know, none of my pictures or posts are more than a month old. Yes, I know I did wear the same top 17 times, but it's for a Project Rose. And you will be seeing way more of Project Rose in the future.
Okay, so please, guys, let's do something about it. Like and share. I am teaming up with people from all over the world to get this recognized. So I appreciate that you take this seriously and not like some conspiracy. This is a real woman who needs help.
I know some people might be thinking this woman's off her head. No one can be taken this seriously, right? Wrong. So I went over to Instagram to see if Britney Spears' account had been deleted still, which it is. And there's another one over there called the Celebrity Whisperer or something. And these accounts and the people that follow them claim to be supporters of Britney Spears. This celebrity idolization is a curse.
The fuck is Britney Spears? It's October 24th, 2025. And I have a lot of crazy thoughts tonight, and I'm really, really, really concerned as to what they're setting us up for. There was one part in particular tonight of this evening's post that really creeped me out. Let me play it for you. Whoever this person is, they look scared.
It's the added creepy generic TikTok sound for me to make it sound more mysterious. Then in another post, she's asking for anyone who works at the restaurant where Britney was filmed, acting erratically and driving away erratically, to email her. But when a guy who has a real account says he called the restaurant and the waitress said it was definitely her, she won't accept that. No, the waitress was paid off. It was a lookalike. Because obviously the most obvious explanation is it's an impersonator that's being trafficked and not someone that's in the throes of a full-blown addiction.
I really want my nails back. I did all my nails off like a fucking idiot. I want my nails back, and I guess I should just go get nails. I can do it. I swear to God. I don't want to take forever to get your nails done. And my bangs are pretty. I need bangs right now so I can be fancy. Oh, mama, sit down.
I know that there's people in the Free Britney movement or Justice for Britney or whatever it's called these days that will deny she has a drugs problem. But let's call it what it is. This is a woman that is not sleeping. She's not taking care of herself. She doesn't look like she washes her face. And that's obviously why her teeth are messed up and she uses about 10 million filters. And anyone that's been around someone that's in the throes of an addiction will know that it's impossible to be with someone like that. They will have mood swings. They will be paranoid. They will lie. They will steal. They will accuse you of cheating or stealing your drugs. And so the people that loved Britney's music when they were about 10, or maybe when they were growing up, or maybe when they were a teenager, I'll give them that. But you're now in your 30s and 40s. They think, no, couldn't be Britney. And watching and posting about a woman's obvious decline online is not supporting her. They're also hypocrites and they do not understand how the music industry works or licensing deals. And it's obvious that since 2007 they've tried to keep her on track and they've tried to keep her business and the licensing of her name profitable, which first of all, the music industry is a business and the music artist cannot make money without those people. And in order to maximize the profits of Britney Spears' name, that is the sad fact. When you sign a record deal, that is a loan that you have to pay back. So it happens to nearly every artist that they're tied into a contract, sometimes for life. And the people who have advocated for Free Britney have always argued that they know better than the media. The media's lying. And the people around her, they're lying. They're exploiting her and they just want money. Instead of seeing it the other way round, which is maybe they've been trying to cover up her addiction and help her to carry on making money. Like with the Zone experience where she obviously licensed her name out. But they come up with these fantastical figures like about her perfume licensing deals and her record sales. As if the artist amasses a fortune from record sales. Record sales are tiny in this day and age. Most music is released through streaming, which, as we're finding out, through a bunch of different lawsuits against Spotify and Twitch, is mainly enhanced with artificial engagement. But let's ignore all of that and keep on trying to fool people. One of the few people that has still been making videos about Free Britney since the case was dismissed in 2023 is this channel. And I know for a fact she made a video about Britney's perfume licensing deal, which was completely inaccurate, which she's now deleted. A standard perfume licensing deal is done over how much percentage they receive from the profit. Profit, not the value, the sale value price of the actual item, which is going to vary with different discount rates and that kind of thing anyway. So from that, costs are deducted. And in a standard licensing deal, the influencer, in this case Britney Spears, would be paid a marketing fee for appearances and social media posts, which would be written into a contract. Anyway, I could go into a much more detailed video about it and about the Lou Taylor and Kylie Jenner conspiracies if anyone really wants me to. But it's in Britney's team's interests to get the best deal for her, which they and she will profit from the most. It's not Britney Spears who went out and made the perfume herself. She's putting her name to a product. But yeah, this person has a load of videos on her channel pretending she knows about what's going on with Britney Spears, and she has a link to her t-shirt design, which is 100% AI generated, and it's awful. But the last thing I wanted to say was, it's not just that they won't accept when they've got something wrong, or that you have a different opinion based on research. And these people are actually bullies. They will send you DMs. They will look up your personal accounts and they'll post it in other forums to discredit you. When I was researching Alexa Nicholas, I came across this video between two people who were involved with Alexa Nicholas and the Free Britney movement.
Lappy talks about weaponizing the internet and about call-out culture and celebrity influence on fan bases. Lappy describes being contacted by participants of the Free Britney movement who were reaching out to bully and guilt Lappy into reporting my personal and Good Morning Mayberry podcast Instagram accounts in order to suppress our reach in retaliation for us offering up the episode that we released with Kay Brown and Kaylee Higgins, the real and true origin story of Eat Predators, a couple of weeks ago. Lappy and I connect to discuss all of the alarming and disorienting distractions has become for the ethics watchdogs, activists, and the people who need us. Thanks for listening.
The biggest problem with these Britney fanatics that want to capitalize on content about her being replaced or about to die, which is a really horrible concept to come up with, is they say anyone who says anything negative about Britney Spears is lying. Not them, and not their idol, Britney Spears. When in their own content that they wish could make money, they are shown to be lying. And we know through the documents of the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni lawsuit, which I have made many videos about, there are people behind the scenes like lawyers, PRs, crisis PRs, and strategists that use the toxicity of these fan bases and these conspiracy theories to suit their own needs. These communities don't want to admit it, but they are really giant troll farms that are weaponized by clicks and engagement. So be careful you don't get mixed up in one. Or the next thing you know, they could be calling your work and telling you to get off the internet. All for a celebrity or someone they're never going to meet in real life.